posted this particular fly a while ago. This is one of the flies I used in my popper fly and shrimps video. And there's quite a few boys that says on Facebook that you show us the way to tie it. It's not a difficult tie at all. So I thought I'd jump on and tie it for you so you can see it. It's quite a fine hook. I tie this in 12s and 14s. Tie it down in a 16 and a buzzer hook, which is a little bit stronger. These are a bit thin on a 16, but for 12s and 14s, your check nymph hook's ideal. But I fish these on soft rods, so just be mindful of that. If you're fishing 8 weights and stiff rods, they'll just not take it, so go ahead and tie them. So we start with it 333 Hanak 333 BL check nymph hook. How does that happen? How does that happen? Literally thousands and thousands of hooks. How does that happen? Oh. So the fly itself is really quite simple. I love a shrimp pattern. It's funny, in this country we never fish shrimp patterns until about 10 years ago. Thread, just a plain orange, nothing bright. The creature you're imitating is no bright. I have got other shrimps that I tie with a bit of yellow, yellowy olive. So tie my tying thread. I didn't want the curve of the fly to be too pronounced. If you look at the normal shrimp, they're quite often pretty much flattened out. So I'm coming up to the middle, and I've got here a well marked English partridge feather. So what I do is I take a fair bunch at the side, see where I'm going to sit, and then tie it in. I want to do a couple of loose wraps. I see where it's going to sit. It wants to be pulled a little bit more. That's about right there. And then just follow the feather down. That's about right. Snip off in the middle. And then usually what I do when I'm tying a batch is I'll take a load off the other side and I'll leave the tips. So I'm left with the tips like that. So the tip, I put it in so the curve is convex. A little pinch and loop, just at the head, not too much. Again, coming in the middle, it just keeps everything even. At the top here, I've got this flexi floss. You can see it's like a weird, if I take that white away, it's a weird pink. It's like a fleshy pink colour. And you can run a pink marker on it, or you get a cheap marabou or cheap floss and sit this stuff aside it and it'll take the colour on. Weird, I know, but it works. And the thing is, if it works with that colour, you want to find it the same all the time. So I've just secured in my flexi there. Not very well. Bloody thing snapped. One of the problems with flexi floss is when it gets old, it gets fragile. Not all flosses are born equal, by the way. So loose wraps coming down to the end of the body. In here. Snip that off. I've got this mix hare's fur, squirrel and rabbit that a guy called Andrew Ellis did for me. I'll come in the middle. So I start off, the way I do the bodies is I've got a really tight noodle there and it loosens off, and I'll show you why. So really tight, and then it gets progressively thicker. So really, really loose, and then far thicker. And the reason for loose is because I start in the middle and I come down. And then tighten your dubbing. So you're going through your looser dubbing, making everything really secure. And you want a shrimp profile, so fat in the middle, fat-ish in the middle. Give myself a little space at the head here. Like I say, you didn't want super bright hot spots, so I'm just going to come up in my first turn, rather than pull it because it will just slip. If you put your finger on the floss, it keeps it on the top of the body, then pull under tension. And I'll get about 5 wraps. There you go, 5 wraps. And keeping it tight, secure at the head. And then in my scissors, pulling it tight, snipping off. You do what overkill on this, so just a couple of more thread wraps, tidying everything up. So stick a little bit of varnish on the thread, just to bind the thread into the head there, and then 1, 2, 3, bang, finished. You can make that nice, neat, smooth if you want. Didn't need it, it's a shrimp. And then the last little bit to make the fly, come in with a little bit of Velcro. Because this mix is a lot of under fur, so soft fur, as well as guard hairs, it really does look the part. And there you go. That's my little shrimp that I fish in the Midlands Reservoir. Nice easy fly to tie, no difficult. Rattle them up in different sizes, 12s down to 16. Like I say, when you got a 16 you need a thicker wire hook. I'll leave that up to yourself. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. If you did, please be kind enough to subscribe to the channel. Plenty more content on there. Thanks now, bye bye.